The Xiaomi Mi 11 is finally here, making its presence as the world's first Snapdragon 888 powered smartphone, but the company is also known for extremely fast charging. This time round we get 55 watt charging, which is up from the Mi 10 and Mi 10 Pro's 30 watts and 50 watts respectively, but down from the 120 watt Mi 10 Ultra. Xiaomi also seems to be following in Apple's footsteps by not including the charger or even the cable in the box. However, they do give you an option to get a free 55 watt gallium nitride charger in a separate box. The Mi 11 goes up against the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra with a 4500 mAh battery cell and 25 watt fast charging. Samsung decided to skip out on the 45 watt capabilities that we saw in the S20 with the Note 20, and it is completely capped at 25 watt wide charging. Up next we have the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which has been increased from 18 watts to 20 watts. However, this year around we don't get a charger included in the box like we saw with the Xiaomi, and we have a slightly smaller battery compared to the 11 Pro Max at 3687 milliamps. I'm extremely excited to see how Xiaomi's new take on charging using gallium nitride and 55 watt capabilities with a slightly larger battery can compete against the quick charging Note 20 Ultra and the slightly sluggish iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go. Before we get going with the charging speed test, let's check out the temps when they're all powered off at the current point in time and not plugged into charge. They're all sitting around room temperature of about 21 to 22 degrees Celsius. Hitting start at the phone on the right hand side, the time interval is above it, and the relation to that time interval is the percentage above each device. I have made sure to disable all charging optimizations on all devices. It is lacking on Xiaomi and Samsung over here. We have battery optimizations for the iPhone, which I have made sure to disable. After 5 minutes we have 90% on the Xiaomi, 9% on the Samsung, and 7% on the iPhone. The Xiaomi hit 38% after just 10 minutes, which is pretty incredible. 19% for the Samsung and 16% on the iPhone, with the iPhone being the coolest in terms of interval and peak, and the Xiaomi being the hottest in terms of interval and peak. After 15 minutes we have 54% on the Xiaomi, 27% on the Samsung, 24% on the Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max. Not far behind the Samsung over here, even though it has slightly slower wattage charging, it does have a much smaller battery, and the Samsung has a battery just a tad smaller than that of the Xiaomi. The Xiaomi is the hottest now with 45 degrees Celsius at the interval. Its peak was 51.6 degrees Celsius. The iPhone was still the coolest. After 25 minutes we have 65% on the Xiaomi Mi 11, 43% on the Samsung, and 41% on the iPhone, with the Xiaomi taking a huge turn now with the lowest interval at 41.1 degrees Celsius, really starting to cool down already, and you'll see why now in a second. After just 31 minutes we have 70% on the Xiaomi, 52% on the Samsung, 2% behind that the iPhone with 50%. The iPhone is now hitting the hottest interval here with 44.5 degrees Celsius. The Samsung is now the coolest peak, with the Xiaomi still the hottest peak, and we're nearing the next interval, which is the 45 minutes mark interval. Going into that one, 83% on the Mi 11. As you can see, the charging has slowed down a significant amount. I have checked numerous amount of times if there is charging optimization within the phone itself, and there isn't. I'll show you in a sec. It's really strange to see, but it is cooling down a lot, so it seems like Xiaomi is actually trying to prevent the battery from overheating too much, especially with the gallium nitride charger, since it uses less energy and it is more efficient. So maybe that's one of the reasons why it's charging slightly slower. Here it is. As you can see, there is no charging optimization options on the phone within the settings at all whatsoever, and after an hour we are 95%, which is actually slow for Xiaomi terms. 88% on the Samsung, 84% on the iPhone, which are actually catching up quite a bit. And after 1 hour and 9 minutes, the Xiaomi Mi 11 finally fills up its tank from 0 to 100%, which honestly is still pretty fast charging, not the fastest I've seen around, but we got 50% in just 13 minutes. So in theory, this should fully charge in 26 minutes, which means that its current is dropping significantly after its first 50%. We got a milliamp hour per minute reading of 176.92 on the Xiaomi's first 50%, and then 66.67 for the full charge. The Samsung just clocked out now at 1 hour and 17 minutes, and we have a milliamp hour per minute reading of the Samsung at 58.44, and the first 50% in 29 minutes and 77.59 milliamp hour per minute within its first 50%. So the Xiaomi was significantly quicker than the Samsung in the first 50%, pretty much half the time, but it was pretty much neck and neck, just an 8-minute difference between the two devices overall, since Xiaomi slowed a hell of a lot down, meaning that the Samsung kept its current more accurate most of the time. We do have the iPhone's optimization off over here, and this is the longest it's taken to charge up the iPhone 12 Pro Max on my channel, with 1 hour and 56 minutes, up from 1 hour and 39 in its last charge. We got 31.78 milliamp hour per minute this time round, and 61.45 in its first 30-minute charge, where it reached 50%. Third place, we have the iPhone 12 Pro Max with almost 2 hours, 1 hour 56 minutes with the smallest battery at 3,687 milliamps and the smallest wattage block at just 20 watts. Second place, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, 1 hour and 17 minutes, slightly slower than the previous test I ran with this. 25 watt charging, 4,500 milliamp hour battery pretty much slap bang in the middle of the two devices over here. The biggest battery, 4,600 milliamp hours, and the biggest charging block, 55 watt, is the Mi 11, which crowns first place here with 1 hour and 9 minutes. Slow for Xiaomi standards, but still quicker than the other devices here, which cost twice the price. Now, it's very interesting if you take the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra into account, which only released a couple months back. That comes paired with a 120 watt charging block in the box, a slightly smaller battery by just 100 milliamps, and it fully charged in 31 minutes, but it does have more than double the wattage block of the Mi 11, though Android Authority stated that it hovered around 80-90 watts. So if that was the case with the Mi 10 Ultra, then I'm guessing we're sitting at around 30 watts for the Mi 11. We also got the first 50% of the Mi 10 Ultra at 10.5 minutes, which is almost identical to the 13 minutes of the Mi 11. So they're actually really fast, both of them, in its first 50% of juice, but the Mi 11 slowed down significantly in the last 50%. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. A sub to the channel would be absolutely phenomenal. This is TechNick, and I'll see you in the next one.